country in here, I wouldn't want to live here. I don't think. It's too dry. I've come to the conclusion I don't like dry ground. I want water. I don't want to have to irrigate because then you're reliant on something again. I want to live in an area where there's adequate amount of water, not too much. I don't want to grow cranberries or nothing like that. Exactly. Just enough to grow lots of grass, but it is pretty in here. The funny thing here, it feels like, or looks like, when I look ahead of me that we're going down, but my engine's working hard. I had to drop down a gear to go down a hill. And if you look in the rear view mirror and you can see, no, we actually climbed way up. But it's very, very strange optics. Right now, I would say this looks more or less flat, and we're working hard trying to get up this thing. And that looks like it's going to go down. Right here, I had to drop down the gear again to try to maintain my speed. It's very deceiving. Absolutely beautiful though. Some of these hills are kind of random. Lots of red rocks in here. Like something like this is pretty. I wouldn't mind something like that. Cows running in it. But there has to be enough rainwater to grow grass. We've seen lots of irrigation land so far. Yeah, in order to grow cattle, you need feed. So the better the ground, the more feed you get, the more critters you can raise. Beautiful sight. Green grass, black cows, beautiful hills, sunshine. The touch on the smoky side makes everything look a little bit gray. Apparently there's a lot of fires in Idaho, so I don't know if these ones are from Canada or from Idaho. We are, I think, about a half an hour from the Idaho-Montana border. Getting closer anyway. But yeah, it's pretty ground. See a little bit of snow up on the top of those mountains there. You can see the little patches of white. Very, very pretty. Still too dry, like it's not somewhere I would want to live, but I mean it's nice to look at for sure. Alright, there is one of the first signs we actually managed to take. Yay! Welcome to Idaho. And the crowd goes. The clutches of Montana has let go, and we are free. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. I'm no longer stuck in Montana. Actually, I really like Montana. It's beautiful. Well, they don't look any different than Montana.
Not really, no.
Turn around.
No. No.
Want to keep going?
Yeah.
Alright. Here's one of those examples I was talking about. So this side, there ain't much for trees. There's like just a few sporadic ones. Then you go to this side, it's a solid bush. But I would venture a guess that the other side of that has no trees, and the other side of this is loaded with trees. Just because we've seen that multiple times, where the water dumps it. It could also have to do with sunshine maybe, and harshness of winter. It's all a possibility. Even the grass in there looks thicker a little bit underneath those trees than it does here, where there's very little growing. Okay, different ground again. We're more flat, wide open now. A whole lot of nothing here in this part of Oregon. What's interesting is that there are some really big farms here that we've passed by with a lot of feet. And it would appear that this is really just, pardon my use of words, but crappy farmland until you add water to it. Because everywhere they're watering, they're irrigating, it's like amazing. I worked with a guy in southern Alberta who came from Mexico, Mexican Mennonite guy. And he had bought some land down there and he showed me pictures of it. It was just basically desert, just junk land. And then he showed me pictures of it later again when they had irrigated it. So he was paying somebody to manage his land down there, basically. They drilled an 8-inch main well in the middle of the field and started pumping water into the land. And boy, that just turned into the most luscious, beautiful land. It takes a lot of water, that's the problem. So here you got lots of these little scrubby looking trees. I don't know if you can make that out. Moving by pretty quick here, but just lots and lots of that. Thousands upon thousands of acres of this. But we did see large farms, huge barns. You know, up here is a big grain outfit. So he's growing that grain somewhere. The other thing we seen was bale piles, just piles of hay bales that I counted. Or we didn't count the whole thing, but we estimated the one pile to be almost 2,000 big square bales. And there was, well, I don't know, 10, 15 piles like that kicking around. So that is an enormous amount of feed in, you know, not a huge area. So it obviously grows feed as long as you got water. A lot of rock here too, it looks like. Down again, you can see the rock sticking out of the dirt. Very rocky. I don't know the stuff that they're farming. I would assume they just rock pick it, same as we did. Here you got rock sticking right out of the ground. But that's a large farm, very large. It's very neat to see the variety that we have, you know, coast to coast, or we have. I mean, but in North America, period. You're going through such a large area. If you were in Europe, you would have gone through multiple different countries right now. So everybody would know that, you know, Switzerland's got a lot of mountains and Holland doesn't, right? Well, it only takes 2 hours to drive through the Netherlands versus, sorry, when I say Holland, that's just the Netherlands is what I mean. There's no mountains in the Netherlands. It's all flatland, great farmland. It takes you like 2 hours to drive through the one way and maybe 6 the other. It's a tiny little country. So we would have driven through that, you know, hundreds of times already by now. The differences from one area to the next. You get to like Portugal or Spain, it's very, very dry from what I understand. I've never been there. And then, you know, you get up into Holland or Netherlands again where it rains lots. So, or you get to England where it rains every day. Those differences are all crammed into one, well, not crammed, but they're in one country here, right? From one end of the states to the other, it changes multiple times. Same as in Canada, like the scenery and the climate, the soil types just keeps changing. It's very interesting to see. We've been blessed with such a wonderful place to live, and I think we take it for granted a lot. This is some kind of wildlife refuge, it just said on that sign. It's kind of neat as well. The other thing, you can look it up for yourself, Google it sometime, the BLM land. Bureau of Land Management, I think. It owns millions and millions of acres, predominantly out here in the west. And it's just government land. What we would, in Canada, we would call it crown land. We have the right to hunt on it, fish, well, not hunt on it, I guess, but within season, you can use that land. It's everybody's. It doesn't belong to a private organization. It just belongs to everybody, every Canadian. And here you have the BLM land. It's the same idea. I don't know exactly all the regulations on the usage of the land. You obviously can't build on it, but many farmers lease that land and graze the cows on it. Yeah, something to look into because there's lots of them. Here again, you got some piles of hay bales underneath those tarps. And then more cows again, more big barns coming up here. There's more barns on this side again. There's a nice, whoops, I'm pointing too high, sorry. There's a nice alfalfa field in there. Ah, very nice. Well, just to prove my point, here we are, a little bit farther down the road, and then this is a beautiful potato field we just passed. Not sure what crop that is. It might be alfalfa in there, but we're talking wonderful, pristine farmland here and all. And a pickup truck. All right, those are all potatoes over there. Stunning. Totally different. Just changes so much just from mile to mile.
It's like still people in here.
Pardon?
There's still people in there. Look at all of the talent.
I wonder what they all do for a living.
I don't know. pretty in here, though.
You have to be warm and delivered.
I don't know. You're in the wrong lane, bud. He's like, I'm gonna take a run out.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may. Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old lives.